So the results are in. Scott Rolen, the only one to get in. He got 76.3% of the vote. So Rolen, you guys both had him on your ballot. He is, in fact, a Hall of Famer. Your thoughts on the guys? Well, you could start with Rolen, who actually got in, and then we could get into the guys who didn't.
Well, Sal, I mean, Mike Schmidt, probably the greatest third baseman who ever lived, said that Scott Rolen was a better defensive third baseman than he was during his career. And Rolen has got a long list of offensive accomplishments as well. I think he's the 18th third baseman to get into the Hall of Fame. It's an underrepresented position. There's going to be more getting in because Beltran is coming up. But I think that this is a perfect election here for this guy to get in and take advantage of the ballot clearing out a little bit. He probably got a little bit more attention because of that. He was an excellent player, a spectacular defensive player. And I think, John, his election is well-deserved here.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it. It's good for the Hall of Fame. And I don't think this is a forced vote necessarily. I think the guy, look, we talked about it. I think it's an acknowledgement that defense matters, and I think it should matter. I think that voting is becoming more in that, going more in that direction over the years. I mean, WAR has something to do with that. I don't like WAR as a kind of defining number for people, but it does take into account defense and base running. I think that works in Beltran's favor too at some point. But I think for Rolen, it's a good day.
Yeah, I mean, look, he was a great player, no question about it. To me, it'd be a different level to be a Hall of Fame player. And I would not have Rolen there. Todd Helton, the guy I think is better, was better than Scott Rolen. He fell just short. I think he had 72%. Let's bring Terry back in right now. We know about Carlos Beltran not getting in. He only got 46.5% of the vote. Terry, how do you feel about those results for Beltran?
Well, I'm disappointed, but and obviously, John brings up, his point he brings up. That's, there's a general thought out there that Carlos, was a bad guy, which is so far from the truth. Carlos Beltran, and I look back when they went through that thing, I don't even know if he played in the World Series. Did he during that year? So, I feel bad for Carlos. I think down the road he's going to be a Hall of Fame player, but certainly I'm disappointed for Carlos, but I'm very happy for Scott Rolen. And you guys are absolutely right. John, you're very, very, I'm going to tell you, this guy, he was a good hitter, but I'm telling you what, boy, he saved as many runs as he drove in.
Hart, back to Beltran, I'm curious. Let's just say the cheating scandal didn't happen. Would he be a first ballot Hall of Famer on your ballot?
I think it would have been close, Sal. I don't think everybody buys into it. I think as a center fielder, he should be not, if not kind of an automatic, but very close to that. I think he should be in. And I do want to make one thing clear. I don't think he's a bad guy either, Terry. I just think the sign stealing, he was part of that. Whatever role he played, he became part of that. And I think that he does pay a price for that. But I always thought he was a good guy, and that's not the issue for me as far as a player himself. And I do, again, going back to his defense, as a center fielder, there aren't enough center fielders in the Hall of Fame to begin with. So I think, and that works in his favor, everything he did as a base runner, as a defender, in terms of, and his postseason play, he had big postseason numbers. So I think he will get in eventually.